Ahum Banjarangara Padma Sadarda 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 Ahum Banzaranger 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 Padma Sadarda ahum banjarangara padma sadardo ahum banjarangara padma sadardo ahum banjarangara padma sadardo ahum banjarangara padma sadardo banjarangara padma sadardo ahum 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 banjarangara pad Banjarangar Padmasadarda Ahum Banjarangar Padmasadarda Ahum Banjarangar Padmasadarda Ahum Banjarangar Padmasadarda Ahum Banjarangar padma sadarda ahum banjarangara 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 padma sadarda ahum Banjarangar 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 Padma Sadarda Ahum Banjarangar. Padma Sadarda Ahum Banjarangar 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 Padma ahum banzarangara padma sadarda hum ahum banzarangara padma sadarda 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 ahum Banjarangar 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 Padma Sadarda
Om Sambara Sambara Bhamana Saramahan Zambaba Hum Palasoa Om Zambara Zambara Bamana Saramahan Zambaba Hum Palasoa Om Zambara Zambara Bamana Saramahan Zambaba Hum Palasoa Om Nachatanam Daram Janalanda Bajashib Shirji Jana Jibaya Sarji Juda Gimdana Baba Kan Lab Sham Salat Darjab Jashi Shur Me Yarbo Salvatan Dunduvergon Shamba Yanwal Gita Waladamba Kan Lagomba Yachir Darba Janan Hambur Taram Pagasata Walatana Simjana Tamja Largon Darba Wala Yatsam Zalba Zaraba Wada Dim Santaman to be Jashi Walampida Devara Shagba Yalab Sham Zalalon Janwalajan Wardan Durjin Zanam Sherry the Wang Gumbu Shambu Wala Saye Nyambo the Banan Berezalanam Ki Nyambo Mamchaka Dabzan Apala Durji Parkarala Shantam Norwa Dawa Ralajanya Maya Sham Sana Laganam Jashi Wala Jim Chop Shanchabu Senwa Jalab Sham Zalor and Chena Degam Chom Jashi Sirjanyam Dom John Wemza Yelon Kamala Yantaga Dondo Panzo Walabi Manaba Jalam Sana Wam Jeram Corridor there and Chena Tamcho Jajab Sham Sana Janam Shodim Jerava Chocham Deep Jedama Wallaby the verb Jashin, Hamo, Jalab, Sham Zalo, Samba, Chimbo, Limjo, Jenny, the verb Murtan, and Jalabu, Yelam Corridor, Pachi, Bodala, Wam, Mabzan, and Turjid, Tarzim, Corlo, Tancha, Ladam, Don Toy, Durji, Janaba, Wara, Jam, Churtin, Jensen, and Zanas, Hasamanis, Gelam, Tashi, Pedan, Jitan, Joa, Jalab, Sham Zalo, Dajatam, the Ripshava, Tumbala, Tani var seva kan jene do tono walim hila sam do ne yeb jene tashi dere pansam so bara shana kananda hame yob jene jo Rurmohjan Jala Zinab Zazo Jibji Jalabi Mulam Liv Jovi Kanam Zan Chula Burjanji Zinjiraji Namora Najaya Namo Bangawati Bandra Saradamradan Banjaram Banjaram Mahambandra Mahadin Bandra Mahabay Bandra Mahabodha Bandra Mahabodha Mandra Pasandraman Bandra Sarvakarma Waran Bashudanam Bandra Swana Mora Najaya Namo Bangawati Bandra Saradamradan Tatangataya Hati Samyak Sampataya Taleta Banjaram Banjaram Mahambandra Mahadin Bandra Mahabay Bandra Mahabodha Bandra Mahabodha Mandra Pasandraman Bandra Sarvakarma Warana Bashudanam Bandra Swana Mora Najaya Namo Bangawati Bandra Saradamradan Tatangataya Arahati Samyak Sampataya Tariata Banjaram Banjaram Mahambandra Mahatin Bandra Mahabay Bandra Mahabodha Bandra Mahabodha Mandra Pasandraman Bandra Sarvakarma Warana Bashudanam Bandre So High Malisim Janan Kananja Gonam Jirja Dalade Gonji Mam Zadam Jum Zadalha Gunam Malim Jabjanam Tianan Jarapa Jamadan Kurum Jinim Dar Shazai Zolay Datam Dola Tim Sim Shara Zam Charam Dayena Chittam Chula Bab Dab Jadamba Te Chatam Chumadan Jizai Zola Babam Jam Hola Junara Jerbala Sham Chanyada Satakam Shakji Jitinana Tisama Shakbama Yasangikan Daki Malete Takatam Jadala Letang Ayala Tami Shakjo Zambo Sherba Mulama Dogdaki, Gervatam Jelayache, Monsamanda, Janga Delanilla Lira Tapai, Jelva Kanla the Shamsado. Darachi Dana Delanilla Sardina, Sardi, Win up Zipata, Tetarachuja on the Mamalipa, Tamjada Jerva Taki Kavaramo, Tetagam Garpam, Zala Jamsona, Yanji, and Laga Jamsu, Jakanji, Jerava Ganji, Yundan Rabjada. They were a Shagbat and Jalab that came to the Metogatam Tambata, Salina Nam, she padim chota, Maramim chota, they put them by Jarava, de Tagalanam Chuperabja, Nabza Tambanam Danjam Chotam, Shima Paramara, Ravanyam Bata, Kodapa Chalaparam Pakapam Chokan and J, Jarava, de Tagalanam Chuperabja, Chodapak on the Mavlamina Jacheva. Lion of Zambo Shola Talaput of Tagaki, Jelva Kalam Sham Sodam Chuperj, Dochagazir Don de Wangina, Litang of Don Tipjana Yachija, the Pap the Cape Jipan Chamjipa, the Tagatam Jelab Daki, Sosurja, Shojim Jerva Kanda Sarji, Ranjilanam Dam Love Dam Love Dam, Roak and James on the Megan Lion, the Tagakan Jis of the year. Kanam Jim Jitin Durmanam, Shansiberim, Beresanji, Machavni, Gombo te Tabdaki, Tamchadala, Korlov Lana, made Pam Korverakat, Yang and Datuna Kamjana de Tagala, Druakan Labam Jean David. Jiparayam, that game, the more of Jerab. Shamsadavatam Chucham Shabada, Jesus, Ram Kalajam Sorvai, Giva Johnson of the Kim Chesava, come to the Giv Shanshabab Shirim, Shan Janab Jipper, Sanji Chum Dandi, Tamchat, Sapchalani, Pub, Shanchibazin, Wazin, White Chimbunam, Lama, Durjim, Zamba, Chimbunam, Daglargon, Solo, Shanchib, Nyamber and Jiji, where Sanji, Namla, Jabzum, Chudam, Shanchibazin, Why, Sola, Division of Jabzum, Shanchib, Nyamber and Jiji, where Sanji, Namla, Jabzum, Chudam, Shanchibazin, Why. So long, division of Jabsums. Shanchibinium Burum Chichi, where Sanji Namla Jabsums. Chudam Shanchibin, why? So long, division of Jabsums. Munji, the Jadi, Shanchibitin and Jelabata. Win Hapala, Tetaram Janani Patar, Division and Rolam and Dunda, Shanchibim and Jemjaja, Division and Tanam Lapala, and Babs and the Laparji, Chatarangi, the Jadi, Shanchibitin and Jelabata, Shanchibim, Lapala, Tetaram Janani Patar, Division and Rolam and Dunda, Shanchibim and Jemjaja, Division and Tanam Lapala, and Babs and the Laparji. Chatarangi, the Jadi, Shanchibitin and Jelabata, Shanchibim, Lapala, Tetaram Janani Patar, Division and Rolam and Dunda, Shanchibim and Jemjaja. Division and Tanam La Pala, Rembabs and the Lama, Tandim, Dazim, Yudame, Jalapala Barato, there are Sanji research, Sanji Jesa Takirato. Tana the kitchen, Ritam Tumbuli Samande, German Tumburium the Lam, Yoparam and Geratatarasha, Lomim Shatar Pampuli, Chetarin Chin Pater. Sin of the Lashi, Ducky, the Ram Churpat, Hamchalajev, Shangaram, do at the Shagan part of the land under woods and jail, Ladan, Haman, Lazo, Gavarji, Sanchibim, Chorum, Buchi, Marchipa, Namachi, Chipa, Yamba, Meparayan, Goni, Condom, Heverisho, Sanchibim, Dom, and Derajam, Sanchibim, Labjurabata, Sarjinamji, Yomzam, the Jade in the Mapavarisho, Sanchibim, Wanam, Gina, Dutan, and Dilla, Gondrevision. Simchin and Lan, Dimjirish, Simchin and Tamjil de Tan, Danjiriji, and do Tamjil don't very sure. Shanchibas in Wakanta, Serbiba, Teta Ganji, Molaman, Jabber, Joy, Oma Hosha, Dejin, Barwa, Wanga, Bob Danda, they don't so sort of a shirk. Machadip didn't by me, Ramjani, Virginia Mana, Chimbu, Shurkano and Tai, Durji, Jitin, Wamsi, Tiji, Chazing, Palamajir, Bum, Gunding, I want it, and not the once in the hair. Some I see Bandra, Dim Chondol, Pujer, Deshin and Tir, Manager Gilum Toru, Shetima, Chotan, Sarje, Wamsi, they don't care. Wamsa Durji, Wanda Kiso, Anatomian Bachimbo, Aneta, Durji Kai, Karchi, Samayo, Germanazon Gibjeti, Kamsam, was there a Marapon Kundi, online Chapaji, Tom Chadosha, the Peripsi, Durji Chakapachim, Butina, Nami, Mudrum Durgim, Chotodoja, Durji Chachapachim, and not the day watching Burudum Shirapa, Tai Jim to the Driver, Karachan, and the Jacom of Shiva, Zigapa, Ramjam Sasamawanga, Hadzola, Gipis, Ram, the Subsingilo, Chotan and Mudrum, Durgim Quantata, Tomili one the Shilbum, the Doma, Honsha, Bechin, Baravanga, Bob down the Deton Sosro Topa, Shirka. Amiram Jani, Durgenia Mana, Chimbo, Churkano and Tai, Durji, Jitina, one Jiti, Chazi, Pamajer Bunkundinga, one Jera, not Jazano, once in the head, Sama Yeshim Bandravada, Dim Chondol Pajer, Bechin and Dere, Mani Jirgi, Yelam Tori, Shedema, Chotan Shade, one Shade, Tonker, one the Durji, one the Kiso, and Antomian Bajimbo, and Yaneta, Durji, Karchi, Samayo, Germelson Gubjati, Kamsum, was there a Marapon Kundi, on like Chabataji, Tom Chadoshan, the Peripsi, Durji Chapanchim, Butitina, Nami, Mudum Durgim, Chotoloja, Durji Churches of Panchimbu, not to the Deva Chimburudum Shilaba, Tai Jim to the Traveler, Karchan, and Durji Konwa Shiva, Jimjip, Ramjam Sasamawanga, Lazola, Gibis, and the Subshinjilo, Chotan Mudum, Durgim Patanda, Tomini one the Shirbu, the Oma, Hosha, Dechin, Barava, Wanga, Bob Janda, they don't so sort of a shirka. Nacha didn't by me, Ramjani, Durgenia Mano, Chimbo, Shirkano and Tai, Durji, Jitin, Wamsi, Tiji, Chaz, Pamajer Bunkundinga, one did and under the no once in the hair. Bandra, Dim Chondol Pajer, Dechin and Tir, Manager Gim, Tori, Chitaman, Chotam Shade, Wamsi, Tonker, Wamsa Durji, Wanda Kiso, Anatomian Bachimbo, Aneta, Durji Kai, Karchi, Samayo, Germanasum Gabjeti, Kamsum, was there a Marpunkundi, on like Javaji, Tom Chadayosha, the Peripsi, Durji Chapanchim, Butina, Nami, Mudrum Durgim, Chotoloja, Durji Churches of Panchimbu, not to the Deva Chimburdum Shilapa, Tai Jim to the Traveler, Karchan, Durji Konwa Shiva, Jimjip, Ramjim Sasamawanga, Hatsola, Gibis, Ram. What took me the one that shall be traverse or Jenny again of Shantam, Padama, Kesara, Dombola, Yamson and Choker, Jabani, Padama, Johnny, Jesus, Jam, Gordon, Gandu, Mambo, Correct, Jesus, Dr. Jeep, Shinji, Lobster, Shaksa, Gara, Padama, the Hoy, Jadapangar, and San Jedata, Japarin, Chimbo, Jeda, Shansam, New, Jetta, Dipshin, Quabjel, Hadzola, Sorvan, Dipsup, Shinji, Lobshana, Sami, Solo, Samba, Epson, the Bada, Chotan, Dribsula, Jalpangaram, some Jetta, Japarin, Chimbo, Jetta, Shansam, New, Jetta, Dipshin, Quabjel, Hadzola, Sorvan, Dipsup, Shinji, Lobshana, Sami, Solo, Samba, Epson, the Bada, Chotan, Dribsul, Japangaram, some Jetta, Japarin, Chimbo, Jetta, Shansam, New, Jetta. Sorvan Dipsup, Shinji, Lobshana, Sami, Samba, Epson, the Badam, Chotan, Dribsul, Jalpangaram, some Jetta, Japarin, Chimbo, Jetta, Shansam, New, Jetta, Dipshin, Quabjel, Hadzolam, Sorvan Dipsup, Shinji, Lobshana, Sami, Samba, Epson, the Badam, Chotan, Dribsul, Jalpangaram, some Jetta, Japarin, Chimbo, Jetta, Shansam, New, Jetta, Dipshin, Quabjel, Hadzolam, Sorvan Dipsup, Shinji, Lobshana, Sami, Samba, Epson, the Badam, Chotan, Dribsul, Jalpangaram, some Jetta, Japarin, Chimbo, Jetta, Shansam, New, Jetta, Dipshin, Quabjel, Hadzolam, Sorvan Dipsup, Shinji, Lobshana, Sami, Samba, Epson, the Badam, Chotan, Dribsul, Jalpangaram, some Jetta, Japarin, Chimbo, Jetta, Shansam, New, Jetta. Sorwan de subshinji lo bishana sami warcha sura sambaye bjinda badam chokdang tamang drubzada jalbangaram samjatam taparin jin chimbub jeda shansam ni wuti jeda drubshin gwab jela zoglam sorwan de subshinji lo bishana sami warcha sambaye bjinda badam chokdang tamang drubzada solam chelam torch sorwan tapam tim dagzogan dani basab shigos Nata galapon tapsu de javata chudam jashim perver zato solo jemi de tomba nyela ta tim jonga na garmi le zomji jemi tsada ram dana nam karam chochna jemzu we ren jena sanche paranyer ta verta ston ban somi le shagcha sangin sergen dag janam sanda khweb shaladan chugo samam solo dorji kela trom je shagye sadan shagja lag jansha shagyon nyam shagab darsi lom zalana ma serjera tarzam jela khwalam barawa yeshi wazar javi kwayang chabani wa jib jela neftanam chadring so pagan so jam som kurji yom kurjan jamba zamji chjim tarnili nam jalab dewa chqa khwala sulwa Jab kanam deep dagnil chimbur sala nyanjin chimbu so danani mi jam zone molam chimbu ngabja tab barkar taram ngag sam tu shirmar dogoy tumba teje janlam shagam salalo dagjan go samage tsolom shurji kan zam churp chanda menebal tagmar ne sagdi tomali ba nyanim jurpa tagpun so so she worge wan tismam sagla jis yerango zabja jachin chujim kurlu salam shagjer janam chal param korda sol chana nam karta bi yeshir ka tismam humjir me parab shig modaje adalab she nam ngor jenji salatan jan charp zir ka tagta nawaram zod dakke tisam sagpagi chujim khajaban ro kan la ban la ta chuje jalabu tag param nipshan jan chuje jalava kwam pham to parab sog dag chani mim ro am gumil naman tidin dag parab zon vak pajanale janda dem dar ren chen nam saman je na wa chen ye de jin chen ne ne Tepsir jam chog chomi le chipur yel chi da be nyang de surun de wana ngon je dam je chimbu man yel bar shang che war te tiji jim zanam zodam zanam jod bada zom le ba chen ji tom bir ko le ya shin ji wazar na zob na wa chimbu dag dang sim chen tham che ji japa tham chanam sar jan tak ba chimbu lam je yon dan sarab jan da ji Shermar Tokba Sanum Barasam Lam Lam Tumba Chumdan di Divsion Shakbada Chumbaya Taparazopa Sardi Quadjem Shakja Tabalam Shakim Zalom Chutur Jepsum Shawam Lam Tumba Chumdan di Divsion Shakbada Chumbaya Taparazopa Sardi Quadjera Shakja Tabala Shakim Zalom Chutur Jepsum Shawam Lam Tumba Chumdan di Divsion Shakbada Chumbaya Taparazopa Sardi Quadjera Shakja Tabalam Shakim Zalam Chutur Jepsum Shawam Lam Divsion Shakbada Chumbaya Taparazopa Sardi Quadjera Shakja Tabalam Shakim Zalam Chutur Jepsum Shawam Lam Tumba Chumdan di Divsion Shakbada Chumbaya Taparazopa Sardi Quadjera Shakja Tabalam Shakim Zalam Chutur Jepsum Shawam Lam Tumba Chumdan di Divsion Shakbada Chumbaya Taparazopa Sardi Quadjera Shakja Tabalam Shakim Zalam Chutur Jepsum Shawam Lam Tumba Chumdan di Divsion Shakbada Chumbaya Taparazopa Sardi Quadjera Shakja Tabal Shakim Zalam Chutur Jepsum Shawam Talayatau Mani Mani Mahamanai Zwa Talayatau Mani Mani Mahamanai Talayatau Mani Mani Mahamanai Zwa Talayatau Mani Mani Mahamanai Zwa Talayatau Mani Mani Mahamanai Zwa Talayatau Mani Mani Talayatau Mani Mani Mahamanai Zwa Talayatau Mani Mani Mahamanai Zwa Talayatau Mani Mani Mahamanai Zwa Mani Mani Mahamanai Zwa Mani Mani Mahamanai Zwa Mani Mani Mahamanai Mani Mani Mahamanai Zo, Mani Mani Mahamanai Zo, Mani Mani Mahamanai Zo, Mani Mani Mahamanai Zo, Devara Shagpa, Chirka Jemdam, Kortan Gatsin Satan, Jankamanda, Kerjem Sam Chagab Zambo Chendawa, Dendram Konaram Dawso, Jiravarsho, Nami Sarvata Tangata, Bayum Bakuma Kambi Sarvata Kangati, Saparana Mangangana Kanso, Dotan Gandam Ram Tochi, Risum by me, Jim Jella Sanchanajan, Nora Dam de la Quater Ponier, Jim Solam Choto Samton, Handravanzo, Jim Dotan Gandam Ram Tochi, Risum by me, Jim Jella Sanchanajan, Nora Dam de la Quater Ponier, Jim Solam Choto Samton, Handravanzo, Jim Dotan Gandam Ram Tochi, Risum by me, Jim Jella Sanchanajan, Nora Dam de la Quater Ponier, Jim Solam Choto Samton, Handravanzo. Gandab Samo Yeshi Rubesal, Yanti Jermo Ekanza Gema, Yeshi Ledam Jitini Mamoto, Solam Chatum Jermim Chanimzon, Hoi Gandab Samo Yeshi Rubesal, Yanti Jermo Ekanza Gema, Yeshi Ledam Jitini Mamoto, Solam Chatum Jermim Chanimzon, Hoi Gandab Samo Yeshi Rubesal, Yanti Jermo Ekanza Gema, Yeshi Ledam Jitini Mamoto, Solam Chatum Jermim Chanimzon. Trong trong chấm chỉ chim bù ra là cho bạn em chỉ là đông mồm chơi chơi ta za ta chỉ cái đó bạn tiếp chỉ em chỉ rồi làm cho tâm cho mình chân em rồi trong trong chấm chỉ chim bù ra là cho bạn em chỉ là đông mồm chơi chơi ta za ta chỉ cái đó bạn tiếp chỉ em chỉ rồi làm cho tâm cho mình chân em rồi trong trong chấm chỉ chim bù ra Zadang de kara da ba dip jinim chi solom chotum churmim chanim zon zolai hon tam chin che wo chen bu tinim zal jidim damam zangam poni so kapchara sam ja de ji so dam chi solom chotum churmim chanim zon hon tam chin che wo chen bu tinim zalam jidim damam zangam poni so kapchara sam ja de ji so dam chi solom chotum churmim chanim zon hon tam chin che wo chen bu tinim zalam jidim damam zangam poni so kapchara sam ja这金做当金，做龙这等这米，陈林做的是，斑马黄个关键能头我去，切成这个不接不样来回，什么不怪过的这半斤，做龙这等这米，陈林做是斑马黄个关键能头我去。Solom chotum chulmim chanlim zodash Pamma wanga kwanyan antawo chi Chepsana dhapa jelpo yang le huir Samarpo kwa kurab jaban jim Solom chotum chulmim chanlim zodash Ganshi yalla jamba zamji jang Dopa ngochu te varam zabaya Churchung yevjin orva chinam chim Dagam samtamali Nyaran dravan zolam Kurandi chukan Katagari bunga Ramdamam gag Yeshi olani lam Gowa Wardanam jambu durjila Namba Chepchi yevjin orva nyel Karak salam zim zaman Banja daya Chin chum chid shagji rala jal yagwamanam Jela jong wala zirim milim cho Rangnan tagpa jenda lama mir salay Ni chin rawo serni jang kama Sanjama walay thiên dẹp sân lập yết la shman chim yết pan rồi jabala solarawa dever gon jeder to ban pover Shanam Jaloba Ani Chinara Serni Jankama Sanjama de panzoe jabala solorwa debergon jeder to bain pover shenen globum ne chinra serni jangama sanjam holay de jefshan lab yedalar man soy javla sorarwa debergon jeder to bain pover shenen olobam dharnam lam olngi tilir jarang shawani jiganya wintam jalkan yeshi simdim lamada Kalawam yambum shanlab toba parasamam Kiva kanta yang tab lama tam jemet chuji wala lo shud jang sada lam ji yundn ram zoni durjim jang kom bam nyer thab shoy chum dan dim kom bon jang hala yang shagem zolo gang lo du dem ye dem der nyatar nam tar sadabe jam nyala dongam jam jam zibjir nyir chi dekar lawan zan gang da jab zar mare mam tan dingar chi zar jotso kan la ba chi tar si la ji chi yang dan som di tar chi jom nyam nya lon li chi chog chog jom za da cha mare mam sa da dim ngana nya kan chim nya da chom za da ra cha nam dan ni tar chang sa chim tar sun yon dan le zo ya chi tha wosh ka cha 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 tam cha ni jem chi da gam lo mam salam jam khol la yang la da dom ara pa cha na dom ara pa cha na dom ara pa cha na ara patana da 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 Patanada, Umara 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 Patanada. Umara Patanada, 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 Umara Patanada. Umara Patanada, Sedanan Jim Jera, Olazara Jim, Daglo, the member of Salani, Gadam, them Jew, Jean Luc, Topayem, Lodru, the Papa, and now I've jealous solo.
Jambur Dordon Yumi Jan, Donner Munum Jambur, Gata, Bagara Dorgon Zando, Shermando. Tumbatu Jejan La Gijam Zar, Denib Jondan de la, Li Wombo Gapshin in Dirkichi, Surto, Jondan de, Dakurmun Dejan Shabat, Jawar Jonah Kirvale. Chujir Namjan Gaton Mombo Tujan, Churta Chujir Namjan de Nambram Trap, Sam Kimiki, Serlanjik Barab, Tambander, Tavan Ashmun. 남양 마투 럭소 정든데 샘쟁강도 주지 남정든 점바당 청와당 로바당 상치버게 대도 탐지 대좀 맘지반도 다베 주지노도 겨르나 강도 군바 남절라 지습쇼라 남라 무장 친서때 대도 거가송 탐진나 저도 대도 거디어 람 탐진나 시 대도 상제 탐지기 그 대도 페이지고라 탐천나 좀 대도 그 탐천나 신도 판벌기 대도기 상집선회 람 넘버장 대도 그 상집년보라 너니 대도 그 대정서비 쇼여라는 영도 브런직 브런저와 럭소 좀든디 리기브 뭐 강도 주지 남정도 안청아 대도 라양도 코라 탐천당 제베 름조당 요교 중당 중지를 중들 Zhongderdang, Zhongdang, Yerngurdang, Gyarbubuchang, Gangna, Chujir Namzhang de la Shobadang, Changwadang, Rabda Tombater, Chujnian Bihlat, Oyogdam Jedim Chego, Rigiva, Mataba Namna Taber Kibagyo, Tabanamna Chudang Damber, Zhongjiang Kebr Gyogo, Tirkiji Soradang, Zhongdang de Gil, Hai Wombo Gyashang Landerkichi, Gazardo, Lakso, Hai Wombo Chugi. Lakbar me bate jino sobe jise yeron li wambo de badang mashun badang tartan jong sangi jomden der nam gi janjib gi chu de namjang de le tan do li wambo de na gang chu jir namjang de zam badang tana lagwa man jawa gam zam badang lo badang changwara shi be ri mo de de kinan de badang mashun badang tartar shong sangi jomden de namlam chobran gyoro li wambo Rigivo gamma rigivo po gamma rigivo mo kanga tongsam jir tong chimbon jik tengi kamda devjang shigbe yonso kangwander tarte huirna varam shanga tsar lam dami tsar lam ningmi tsar lam terji jangam sangdanga tsar janda rabda kangwa namla karwa gamma karwa le lhagbar ramro shebab lamar shebab karta da shede Devjang shikpa de daglam choba tamche dang devi yoshi tamche jim choba dang devjang shikpa de dag yongsam nyang lende ne gyang devjang shikpa re re layam chobi shirak chig dam chagba ma jikbar kog dong churtun jimbo de tamche le shi bar gyarna olang jimbo je jikten ki tsat tsam pang da jikten da chemba tsambin jikten da chemba de dang wadan dang Zhokxiang zhangbim zibai rabda jiba devjang shaba tam che jim churten susur shene di de la karwa gam karwa le lakbar me tok tang bu tam che de tang gyamzan tam che tang wadan tam che jim chobab shi jang arnga gam sar nyen nam dong dem churten chod na le wongbo de che nyam da sem rigiwa mo te tab gi Vajilib sonam mang de kye de tam ma so rab chong den de mang lang so de rak shaba mang lang so Garajia Gyartongi Jamsunamji Pumbum Tarar Chimberman so Jondan de Jika Zara, Li Wambo, Kyoda, Mubershago, Kyoti Konda Chibershago. Gangar number Tarva Samji Mikiba Tamba Chuji Namjando 真的马路干嘛？像这的，像这不是比这个跑干嘛？这个我所能想的忙的阶段的几些人呢？在我们上级中等的南极，像这呢，就来说话的呢，就把你比上升个的呢，秋季的呢，秋季就不是你家上升个，那马人把它学罗，在我们秋季南站的讲的这个不是的。李王伯我们中央的比地那个了正面比阳气正面办那，也切话当侧面把三级面就把它带了第在那，个了那不是中央级登记看嘛，切入个把对了是把这准备用到不是做不三级，如把当家是担保对了是把级登记把基本的话卡路就了。来那没办法，他们那边东北上集中的满级点不是下完级等的兄弟，对象是把这准备用到不是做不三级满级点问题。此次的外地官员你是觉得多第一年度的跟的呢，需要超出什么就是在这个有多，像这生活跟的呢，需要超什么就是讲你有多，来广播第一次呢，第一呢，可能就是节目人生这个是些。好像是啦，往人不去那等等把就兄弟了不花吧当，特不把当，养出个是当吧。바로 지대랍던 좀 봐, 동도 창와 요도 열보 런진노 드디 좀 된데 대장 소바 만지 열보 코르돔 제바 와르티카르 니와도 와르티카 종지 와르티카르 니와도 양 대비 요시 담지 지름 조시소 레용보 와르티카르가 보대던 데니 Gerboren chang dug jiwer tonglandir ke jirme so ke cheg sibrji ji nge de jang shobam chobr ji da ji ji jang de jang shobalam chobr ji shi de ne jarojun de de jang pe gerboren chang de la laksur ma me de nyan de 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 dan han jing so ne de jang shobat man ji jarora karwa varmar ni vard devi yosh tamje jiram ro she so ti nane Rjarvar dagdig jivshavati jigbi wimber sonen de nyamda sentem choba deve lagba jan chi chabardam hagba cheva yotam nyamba dan sanji ji shinji blabki varnang ne tele lhati de qandir ke ji meso jeva tamba chujim chobanam choba tamji ji nonam choko dirme ba chujim choba de gan le me ba jeva tamba chut devjang shaba manji jerbu zhongde songla Chujim choba de gang la ji tishik dam chong den de di chola long ton do. 今天我们讲这个
Today we'll resume the Vimalakirti Sutra, and now we're on the 13th chapter. We will then study half of this chapter, and then tomorrow we'll study another half, and next week we'll have only one more class left, that is on the chapter of bestowal. And then the week after next week, I think next Monday and Tuesday, we will have a teaching of Suragama Sutra. When I say this, I'm sure you'll be clapping your hands. In fact, Suragama Sutra is very difficult to understand. I think compared to Vimalakirti Sutra, Suragama Sutra is rather much more difficult. But anyhow, since I've already made such aspiration a long time ago, therefore I am going to give such teaching despite the difficulty. I think I'll give the teaching on September 2nd. Monday is September 2nd, isn't it? September 2nd and September the 3rd, we're going to have the classes on Suragama Sutra. In terms of our text, I'm not sure if we will be able to have our text printed, but at least you'll be able to find some online. So that's the first thing I would like to address. And the second thing is after the chanting of the King of Aspiration, I would like to ask the practitioners over here to stay after the class. I have a few some announcement inside the Larangar to make. Now we are on the chapter 13, and that is a Dharma offering. The Chinese edition and the Tibetan edition are mostly the same. There are some differences, but the majority of it is rather very similar. Sometimes when it is difficult to understand in Chinese, I found that it could be easier to understand in Tibetan language and vice versa. Therefore, although I've been really busy, I have lots and lots of things to do, but in each of the classes, for each of the classes, I would then refer cross-reference to different editions. In some places, that's rather very difficult. Then I would then give you different explanations or give you the alternative connotation in terms of the different commentary. I think majority of you probably feel that this is a very extensive commentary on this sutra, because although I would consider myself adequate in both languages, the Chinese and the Tibetan language. Now we're at the end of this sutra, and I think I've made a clear connotation to different parts of the different aspects of the sutra. Therefore, I really hope that whenever you have such opportunity to give this teaching to other people, then you could provide different explanations thoroughly to other people. Life is impermanence. When it comes to your opportunity to give teachings to other people, I really encourage you to then give extensive teachings to others and try your best to explain as detailed as you can. Also, another thing I would like to note is we have the tutoring class after each class. You can call it mentoring class, discussion group, or sometimes oral presentation, oral exam. You can call that, because this could be considered as an exam that you present in front of everyone else, or another way of giving teaching to others or sharing the teaching to others. This is really wonderful. There are people who never ever missed even a single class. Not a class, not a tutoring or mentoring class, discussion group participation. I think in our short time, this is quite admirable. And this is quite a meaningful thing that you've done in this impermanent life. So let's get into the chapter 13, that is the Dharma offering. We have this chapter left, and then another chapter that is a rather very short one, that is the chapter of the bestowal. After Shakyamuni Buddha and Vimalakirti give such Dharma teaching, over here in this chapter it talks about how to make offering to this sutra. And then at that time the protector came up, showed up over there. And then the next one is bestowal chapter, where it talks about how people and celestial beings give praises, and it talks about how we can then propagate this teaching in later times. Dharma offering, over here, Dharma means Mahayana teaching, Mahayana Dharma. And offering means offering of studying, contemplation, and practice. And this is the offering, the meaning of offering over here. Whether you uphold it, recite it, teaching it, copy it with writing, or studying it, all of these are considered as offering. As it is said, if our mind could be in accordance with the Noble One, then that is making Dharma offering. If we can do so, if our mind could be in accordance with the noble ones, then this is the best offering. So you probably feel really tired, feel really lazy, or you feel quite busy, but despite of all those, you would still go to the discussion group and still would practice and study this text. This kind of offering is so much better and so much more than offering money. Unlike there are people who would make offering of money by opening the bills into the shape of a fan. This is not really the best kind of offering. Rather, the best kind of offering is to study and listen with great sense of with great sense of focus. That's the best way of making Dharma offering. So whenever you rely on a good teacher, the best way to make such offering, to make an offering to a Lama teacher, is to offer the Dharma first, to make a Dharma offering first. That's the most supreme kind of offering. The medium, a mediocre offering is make offering by providing your service, by volunteer and so on. And the least kind of offering, or the most inferior kind of offering, is the offering of wealth. But nowadays, it seems that the so-called superior and inferior offerings are then completely reversed. If you can make all of these previous three offerings, that would be great. If you can't, then at least making one kind of offering is really great. If you can make offering of the Dharma offering, that's really wonderful. When I first came to Laronggar, I was really, really poor, and I really want to make offering to Phuntsok Rinpoche. But whenever Phuntsok Rinpoche talks about the Dharma offering and the supremacy of Dharma offering, I feel extremely happy. In fact, the best kind of offering is Dharma offering. So that's the kind of offering we should make to the Bodhisattvas. So at that time, the Shakradivanam Indra, the Indra came over there, and he was in the great congregation at that time. He then said to the Buddha, said that, "World honored one, although I have listened to 100,000 sutras by yourself, taught by yourself, and Manjushri, I had never heard the scripture of definitive true characteristic of the inconceivable, autonomous, numinous penetration." So Indra is a disciple of Shakyamuni Buddha as well as Manjushri. He said that I've listened to so many teachings given by you and Manjushri, but I have never heard such a scripture that directly point out the ultimate truth. We've heard about the autonomous numinous penetration of the Buddha, of Vimalakirti, of Manjushri, and the Bodhisattvas and the Buddha from fragrance accumulation, Pure Land. And then over here it talks about he had never heard about the teaching of the scripture of definitive true characteristic of inconceivable. So over here it talks about the teaching in this text is the most ultimate teaching. The ultimate and relative teaching. Ultimate means the definitive true characteristic or definitively true teaching, and relative means there are skillful means that's applied to the words so that majority of people will be able to accept and understand.
这个大乘菩萨菩萨藏正法经里面呢，就是也说
according
这个
to
世俗性呢，就是视为不了义，然后宣述圣义呢，就是视为
the
了义。
Sutra of the
说世俗的法
Dharma
就叫做
treasure
不
of
了义
Mahayana
然后
Bodhisattva
宣述
taught
这
by
个
the
圣义的
Buddha,
话
it
呢，
says
就
that
也不了义，就
contents
不了义
with
是了义的，圣义
euphuistic
是
and
了义的，
elegant
世俗
words
是不
are
了
of
义的，也有
provisional
这样的
meaning.
说法。
Contents
还有呢，
with
就是什么三巧
profundity
问句呢，
and
就是视为了义。
unfathomability
然后
are the
生死难
definitive
解
meaning.
呢，就是视为了义就是也是那个就是菩萨那个
This
藏
is
正法经
also
当中的话呢
stated
就是
in
一个
this
是
sutra,
这个世俗心就是是不了
which
义，
means
宣述
the
圣义呢，就是是
relative
不了义
mind
就是宣述
is
圣义
not
就是视为了义
definitive,
的
but the
然后刚才讲的这个
ultimate
宣述一些
teaching
三
that
巧文
are
句，
those
就
are
像
the
我们
teaching
就
of
现在的一些
definitive
三巧
true
方面的文句
characteristics
现
which
在
are
所谓的什么
stated.
心灵鸡汤就是这些
Nowadays,
就并
the
并不是
chicken
最究
soup
竟的
or
但是为
some
了
of the
让他
very
引导就是
soothing
先暂时
words
给他讲浅
are
显易懂的，就是
relative
这些呢就
teachings.
是叫不了义的
Those are the
不了义的
teachings that could
然后非常
skillfully
深深的我们
lead
讲的这
people
个中国
to
佛罗
seek
密多或者是按
to
照尼
seek
玛派的话
spiritual
呢，就是我们
comfort
这个光
and
明如来藏啊
in some
那么
ways
这些
to
呢
lead you
叫
onto
做
the
是不
path.
了义的
So
就
that's
这是不了
relative.
义的
But when
然后我们
it
这
gives
里
the
呢
teaching of
其
the
实在
ultimate
那个
teaching
就
that's
是维摩诘居士的
taught in
这
with a
个
definitive
这种
meaning,
经
those
解也
are the
好或
ultimate
者的话呢，就我们
words,
这里讲的
ultimate
这个
Dharma teachings.
烦恼转为道用的，就是烦恼的这种自信为菩提
When we
啊
talk
当然
about
后
how
面
the
这类的很多就是
afflictions,
非常
the
这
nature
个
of
了义的
afflictions
就是这些
are
就是这些
no
呢
other
就
than
是
Bodhi,
这样呢就是
such
说
kind of
我
teaching
们
is
这
the
里呢就是
teaching
应该是
of
具体的非
ultimate
常
te-
这个
ultimate
了义的
truth.
这种事项啊，就是了义的
Over
这个
here
事
it
项。
talks about we
那么
should
实际上的
then
话呢，就
study
是
the true
什么
characteristic
中论当
of
中也
the
是有啊
ultimate
就是
Dharma.
叫这个诸法实相者心性语言断，言语断就诸法实相者心性言语断，就是我们前面也就是引用过吧。诸法的
Previously, I
真正
think
实相是
we've
什么
quoted
诸法实
that
相者
the
那么这个
ultimate
心性言语断
truth
那么心的心境
cannot
和
be
言语呢
fathomed
就是
by
全部都断了，就是
dualistic
没有
thoughts.
没有真实的这个
The dualistic thoughts
就是真实的这种
do
这个
not
实相啊，就是
lead
业
you
和
to the
思维
ultimate
就是没办
truth
法做
that
的
is
言语
devoid
什么
of
言
any
语心理
words
学
or
诸法能
descriptions.
嘛这个那都什么那不是就对人传言什么资质不遂，他机密无虚论。
According to the fundamental wisdom of the middle way, it says that not dependent on another, peaceful and not fabricated by mental fabrication, not thought without distinctions, that is the character of reality, of suchness. There are 5 or 6 characteristics that's stated in this stanza that is of the ultimate truth. So, the ultimate truth
然后那个就是这个第四天呢，就是
that
说是如果
is
这个戒
not
就是
heard
佛所
by
依
the
据
Indra
就是如果
before
按照
had
我
never
对这个佛陀
the
所
Indra
宣
had
说
never
的这
heard
个佛
before.
经的义趣的了解的话呢，那么
And
如果
then
有众
Indra
生
continued to
就是
say,
听闻了
according to
这个
my
法这个
understanding of the
摩诘经
meaning
的话
explained by
还有
you,
呢
if there are
就是
sentient
心
beings
经
who hear
受
this
持
sutra, 那
读
who
诵
devoutly
那么这种
understand
人
this
的话呢
sutra,
就是一个是
accept
法
and
门
maintain
那
the
么这
sutra
个
and
人呢
read and
这个
recite
一
it,
定会是得到这
they
个
will
法，就是
definitely
没有任
attain
何
this
怀疑的，就
Dharma
是他得到
without
这个
any
法
doubt
其实得到
about
这个
it.
法的意思呢
In fact, over here
唐
about
有和藏义
attain
当
this
中呢，这
Dharma,
个是这
according to
个
the
逼的是
Town
逼的无语是
Xuanzang's
发起的，也
translation
是
as
得到
well
发起
as
的
the
也
Tibetan
发起的意思。
translation
在
it
这里
talks
发起
about
也好，发也好，意
it
思就是
will
说呢，
definitely
如果
be
有
a
人就是
proper
听闻呢，
Dharma
就是或者是
vessel
对他
to receive the
产
Dharma
生信心
teaching.
接受，还有这个读诵的话呢，那这个人呢，
If
就
you
是一
can
定会
read,
是得到这
recite,
个文墨经的
accept,
真正
and
的
have
这个了
devout
义的这个
understanding
实
or
相
devout
法，就是
faith,
他会得到。
then you'll
那
be
么
able
更
to
何况说呢，
receive
就是
and
如以这
attain
个
such
修行
Dharma,
啊，
be
就
able
是
to be
如所
the
修行，
vessel to
按照这个
receive
佛
such
经里面所
Dharma,
说
and
的那
there
样，
is
就
no
是
doubt about
如理
it.
的这种修
How
行
much
啊，
more so
就是
if
这一
these
点呢，就是
people
这
could
个第四
cultivate
天这个
according
对
to
这
this
个
explanation,
对佛经的
at
这
that
个修行
time
的一个
Indra
功德方面的就评
started
价，就
giving
是他意思
praises
是
to
也是
the
是
actual
如果有人
practice
真正去闻思
that
修
is
行的话
in
呢，那
accordance
这个人
with
是
the Buddha's
真正会
teaching.
是得到就是
If
这
a
个文墨经
person
经的这个深
practices
深的这个法要。
according to
他这里
the
有些注
teaching
释当
given
中
by
呢，
the
就是讲
Buddha,
前面的这个
then
听闻
there's
和信
definitely going
听
to
闻的
be
话，那就
much,
是
much
闻
more
思修
of
里面的闻会
the merit that comes with it. The previous one, then it talks about the wisdom of listening. That is then hear and devoutly understand. And then the second part, when it talks about accept and maintain, is then the wisdom gained through contemplation. Read and recite. Reading and reciting, that belongs to the wisdom or lead to the wisdom of practice. You could rather the wisdom obtained through reading and reciting is the wisdom of contemplation. So how about the wisdom of practice? It is explained later. It says that such people will immediately close off the hosts of evil destinations and open the gateways of good. The three evil destinations, or the three lower realms, or the 8 kind of unfavorable conditions, those are the evil destinations that will be completely closed off. So for those of you who often worry about karma, your karma and your life after death, then you don't have to worry too much, because as it is stated over here, you will be immediately closed off the host of evil destinations. Also, the gateways of good will be open, such as nirvana, and the human and celestial realm that will be opened up. They will always be protected and remembered by the Buddhas. People may feel that, well, if I study and contemplate and practice the Vimalakirti Sutra, how could the Buddha remember me that often? How could that even be true? In fact, the blessings of the Buddha and the Bodhisattvas and the protections coming from the protectors are far more than how you can fathom. When you practice and study and contemplate on a sutra, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas would naturally then rely upon causes and with the dependent origination of blessings of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas will naturally be there to protect you. Well, as you do not understand how you could fall in love with a person on the first sight, you probably won't understand how the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas' blessings could be bestowed to you. And all of these maybe cannot be explained from the superficial, from the very surface of it, the surface of the phenomenon, but there are some very deep-rooted dependent origination behind all such phenomena. If you read and practice and contemplate Vimalakirti Sutra, or chant some mantra such as the mantra of Guru Rinpoche, you will receive their blessings. It is through the power of the truth, as well as it is because the truthfulness and undeceiving nature of suchness, as well as dependent origination, you will be able to receive the blessings from Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and protections from protectors and dakinis. Such kind of power will subjugate the heterodox teachings and demolish the vengeful maras. They will also demolish the vengeful maras and harms that comes from them. They will cultivate a bodhi, the 6 paramitas, and 10,000 kinds of actions can be very easily be cultivated, as well as reside peacefully in the place of enlightenment. They will walk in the every footsteps in the Tathagata's path. We will walk in the very footsteps the Tathagata has trod. There are some different translations. What it means is that if we were to practice, study, and contemplate this sutra, then the doors to evil destination will be closed, the gates of good will be open. So those are the paths of accumulation of merit and the next one, when it comes to be able to protect and remember the Buddha and subjugate heterodox teachings, demolish vengeful maras, that is the first to 7th bhumi of Bodhisattva. The next sentence is the 8th bhumi. The last sentence describes the 10th bhumi. According to some commentary, it is then divided into these stages. I think we could look at this passage through such a way, or I think we can just take it as it is, and that if we were to practice wholeheartedly, to read and contemplate wholeheartedly, we will be able to then open the doors of the good and close the gates of the evil destinations, be protected and remembered by the Buddhas, and all the heterodox and vengeful maras will be subjugated in the way of how we witness some people when they practice diligently. It seems that there are people who don't really encounter lots of unfavorable conditions, yet they would meet great teachers and they have lots of favorable conditions, and vice versa. There are people who would then encounter a mixture of favorable and unfavorable conditions, just as 2 children wrestling with one another. So the favorable and unfavorable conditions would wrestle with each other. Just as when I was young, I used to wrestling with my playmates, yak herders, and we would then wrestle on the top of the mountain, and the ones who lost, then they would continue to sob, and the tears would come out, and they would have a running nose, and they would continue to sniff their nose like that when they're suffering, that is. But when they're happy, when the kids are happy, then they would sing and dance and laugh. That is how children would react during favorable conditions. So people nowadays, if they were in favorable condition and unfavorable conditions, their reactions are very different. And when they're happy, they almost want to fly just like Milarepa and fly into the blue sky and white clouds, as well as the mountains that penetrates into the white clouds. And when they feel unhappy and in unfavorable conditions, they just want to then run away from this group. They just want to commit suicide. So lots of such kind of extreme emotions. The the favorable and unfavorable conditions to mundane beings are very different. And are and makes great impacts on people as well. But so you could explain it simply just by looking at all of this merit that could be gained through studying, contemplation, and practice of the sutra, or you could view it as a way how it is in accordance of the path and bhumis. The previous one talks about the merits, and then the next part, then Indra continuously to say that world honored one, if there are those who accept and maintain, read and recite and cultivate this sutra as it has explained, I and my subordinates, I and my group, I and my community will then make offering and serve them. So for people who read and who teach and who would propagate such teaching, then such a person would then gain great protection from the celestial beings such as Indra and his subordinates, because that's what Indra promised. Whomsoever make offering or whomsoever recite and cultivate or to propagate this sutra, then the Indra, the celestial beings, will try their best to protect them. That's the first promise from the Indra. There's so many people online and over here listening to this teaching. There are people who said that please give me blessings so that I will be able to finish listening this teaching. Otherwise, I won't be able to continue to listen to this anymore. I have so much problems going on with my health, with my family, with my career. So to this group of people, I supplicate to the Indra to remember his promise. When I make jokes, I saw that there are people who never laughed. Is it because you suffer a lot? Even when 99% people laugh at my jokes, they would keep their face like so, and they hold still such kind of attitude. So the first one is blessings, is protection. And then the second one is that to village, towns, mountain forests, and a wilderness. In Tibetan version, in fact, it includes the big city, small city, rural area, towns, and small tribes and small villages. Lots of large and small cities, rather, and villages and towns, and then mountain forest, and then wilderness, where this sutra is found. And then Indra said, I and my subordinates, I and my group will definitely go to these locations in order to listen to the Dharma. I will cause those who do not yet believe to believe, and those who already believe will be protected. According to the Tibetan version as well as Tang Xuanzang's translation and Sanskrit version, it has one more passage inside. It says that in all these places, if a person is upholding, practicing, or giving teaching on this sutra, doesn't matter where you are, in the city, in the town, in the wilderness, if you have this sutra, if you practice it, if you give teaching on it to propagate this Dharma, then Indra promised, I and my subordinates will go there and listen to the Dharma that they teach. And Indra will cause those who do not yet believe to believe, and those who already believe will be protected. If this passage is added, I think from the previous content and the later content, inside this, then it is easier to explain, because it acts, that part acts as a connector Because over here, to this translation, it says that if this sutra is found, but by simply found, it doesn't really connect to the later part about listening to the Dharma. So it probably makes more sense if it is that if anyone gives teaching of this sutra in any of those places, and Indra and the subordinates will be there to protect that person. We really like to be protected by protectors, and then we would chant it. Some people would chant and dance. According to the code of mundane and transmundane actions by Mipa Rinpoche, it says that if you were to practice good, then all the protectors will be there naturally without having to supplicate them. If you were without the protections of a protector, then despite the willingness of becoming a good practitioner, it's very difficult. But if you were, sometimes maybe there are difficulties, but even if you encounter difficulties, you will naturally be protected by the protectors. So sometimes I contemplate to myself the kind of practice that we do every day, the protectors' practice that we chant every day. It's very good. And there are people, and even if you don't have time to chant it every day, do not get overstressed, because I know that there are people who kept on saying that you have to do it every day, otherwise you will not be protected by the protectors. In fact, the protectors are not that narrow-minded. They would protect you if you were practicing the Dharma. So even if you really don't have such time to practice the protector chanting, then I myself would ask for the protector to forgive us for such inconsistency. And I don't think they will be so narrow-minded. Once I went to see a friend, and he said that it seems that this year in Larungar, the obstacles are much less than it used to be. And then I thought that's very true, because in our classes, we chant the protectors chanting every day. And I feel that the protector is really protecting us. And I really think the protector is quite understanding in a way that sometimes, even if we forget or even if we don't do it every day, the protector is still quite helpful when it's necessary. In our mundane world, the protectors are in fact quite keen on what is good and what is bad. Therefore, the protectors would definitely protect you if you were practicing the good. On one hand, I really like chanting protector chanting. On the other, when I do not have enough time to chant at home, at least I would chant in class. And in such a way, I think this is really wonderful. It really pushes me to chant it every day. So in your practice, in your Dharma propagation, you should then supplicate to the protector diligently. Even when Phuntsog Rinpoche traveled around, he kept on. He brought his Dharma protector offering cup everywhere. I think the most special thing that we received when we were in Bhutan was, in fact, the insights and blessings from Protector. I myself, I cannot talk too much about it, but sometimes I would consider all of such kind of blessings comes from the lineage masters, but I think through chanting the Protector chants, I believe that we will all receive a little bits and pieces, at least, from the Protectors. Over here it talks about then the previous one. Previously, we've already talked about the merits. It talks about the offering and protection to the practitioners who then study and read and practice the Vimalakirti Sutra. I think the kind of offering is really offering the auspiciousness or a sense of protect the auspiciousness to continue. And then the Buddha said, "Excellent, excellent, Heavenly Emperor, it is as you have spoken. I am very happy for you. I rejoice." According to Tibetan, it says rejoice as well. But according to Master Kuei-ji, he had a rather a bit different of explanation. But I think rejoice to the Buddha is in fact quite reasonable as well. Just as when during the meetings, when supervisor agrees to the main manager would say that I second his opinion. Anyhow, such kind of recognition of the speech, it shows a sense of authority, I guess. And then the next one, it talks. So over here it says that the Buddha then agrees with Indra's opinion. Offering, merit, and protection, those are the actions that should be done by Indra and his subordinates. It is very reasonable and very suitable. That's what it means by the Buddha's speech, by "I'm happy for you." And then he continued to say that this sutra extensively explains the inconceivable Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi of the Buddha of the past, present, and the future. So the Buddhas of the three times, the inconceivable Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, are taught in this sutra. That is of the Buddha of the three times. In the translation commentary of the Vimalakirti Sutra, it says that over here it talks about the Buddha, and the Buddha is rather the manifestation, and the Akshobhya is Dharmakaya. So it talks about the three kayas as well as the different insights and different levels of realization of the three kayas, as well as the merits of the three kayas. So continue. It says, "Therefore, Heavenly Emperor, if a good man and woman accept and maintain, read and recite, and make offering to this sutra, that is tantamount to making offering to the Buddha of the past, the present, and future." So we're doing exactly the same. We're then making offering, we're chanting, we're reading, we're practicing, we're contemplating, and this is no other than making offering to the Buddhas of the three times. Heavenly Emperor Indra, even if the entire Trimegachiliocosm were filled with Tathagata, as numerous as the sugar cane and bamboo, reeds, rice, hemp, and forest. Some of the translation, it talks about 4, some says 5, and some has 6. Some has reeds. So sugarcane, bamboo, reeds, and rice, and sesame and the forests are really condensed. All of the vegetations are quite condensed. So you can visualize such condensity. And if a good man and a woman were to then make an offering and so on, usually in a world there's only one Tathagata or one Tathagata, but if the entire Trimegachelocosm were filled with the Tathagatas as numinous as such condensed vegetations, if a good man and or a woman were to revere, honor, praise, and make offering and provide their needs for kalpas or even more kalpas. Over here, it's not less than a kalpa, it's rather more kalpas. That's according to Qianlong Emperor's Tripitaka. So what it means is more kalpas. So for a kalpa or even more kalpas until after the nirvana of those Tathagatas. And made provide for all of their needs, such as needs of any kind of materials that they need. Then in one kalpa or more kalpas, if they can continuously to make such offerings, and even after the nirvana of those Tathagatas, if he or she erect a stupa of the 7 treasures above the whole relics of every one of those Tathagatas' bodies, or the relics of the entire body of the Tathagata. Sometimes there are the Tathagata of the relics of whole body or relics of separated relics of the body. There are the separate relics of Ananda, where he separated his relics into 4, or where the relics of the relics were then separated into 4. Sometimes my pronunciation is a little different than your pronunciation. What I meant was that when the relics were then separated or broken into pieces, there are the relics that is broken into different pieces and then put into different stupas. For example, there was the relic. There was one piece of relic sent to Lumbini and was protected by a Naga king over there, and there were 7 other relics which were protected by 8 other kings at that time, and that was by Ashoka back in history. Lumbini is in fact not so far away, and it is protected and not really destroyed by any other of the external forces. So the relics were separated into 8 countries and protected by 8 kings, and that kind of relics are called the relics, the separated relics. And there are also the whole relics, the relics of the relics that is not broken off from the whole relic of the body of the Tathagata. And when such stupa is as long and wide as a single fourfold world and as tall as a Brahma's heaven, with each stupa constituting a field ornamented with all manner of flowers, incense, garlands, banners, and musicians paramount in most subtle wonder. And if the good man or woman made offering to these stupas for a kalpa or more than a kalpas, what do you think, Indra? Would the blessing planted by that person be great or not? So at that time, Indra of course said, "Oh, that would be great, world-honored one. One could not fully explain their merit even in 100,000 kotis of kalpas." As it is said that even if you make offering to one Tathagata, the merit generated from such is in fact already immeasurable. When we see the body of the Tathagata, when you make offering, when we supplicate to the Tathagata, such merit that gained from such kind of actions are immeasurable. And then there's a sutra. I can't find the translator, however, it is included in the Chinese version of Tripitaka. The sutra's title is Mahayana Compassionate White Lotus Sutra. It says that after I, the Buddha, enter Nirvana, in front of my relics, of being paid homage with all kinds of treasures, or chant just once a homage to the Buddha, or make just one bow to them, or circumambulate them just once, or hold palms together just once, or offer just one flower, such merit will ensure them to follow any of the three vehicles without retreat, according to their capacities. The other day we talked about do not exhaust the conditioned and do not abide in the unconditioned, where in that chapter we learned that you should not stop making offering, you should not stop circumambulate stupas, because there are people when they first get in touch with the teaching of emptiness, they would very easily then get into the extreme of emptiness and stopped practicing accumulation of merit. In fact, when it comes to accumulation of merit, simple actions such as circumambulation of the stupa, making prostrations, and offering incense or flowers and so on, those are easy. But the merit that accumulated from such actions is quite great and difficult to count. And nowadays, before, when we were in the old shrine hall, I would then use, I would still make offering of 7 cups of clean water. Although I did not fetch such water for myself, but I'm not sure. And I'm not sure if I'll be able to accumulate merit through that. But now, once we moved to this, shrine hall, I stopped doing so. I was asked by someone that what's the practice manual for practicing or chanting sadhana of using the prayer wheel. And I thought to myself, what's the sadhana to practice upon through using the prayer wheel? You just need to use it from left to right, and that's how you practice with prayer wheels. And you can practice by circumambulation, and you can practice by folding your palms, or just use one hand, not even folding your palms, just using one hand. or use one incense, or use one flower, something that's very insignificant, which could cause significant merit. And in this sutra, it says that you will not retrogress from the three vehicles, off the three vehicles. But nowadays, people's mind are very much unsteady, and they would retrogress very easily from the path. Maybe that's because of the lack of merit, without the foundation, a firm foundation of merit, it's very easy to push the wall over. Just like that, as Buddhists, we need to have a very firm foundation of, just like a wall, the practitioners should have a very firm foundation of merit in order to practice and not to retrogress from the path. And then the Buddha told Heavenly Emperor the Indra, saying that you should understand the good man or woman who hears the scripture of inconceivable emancipation and who devoutly understands, accepts, recites, and practices it will have blessings even greater than the former person. Well, for those of you who do believe in such kind of merit that is taught through the Buddha, then this sentence is extremely important. It says that for those people who makes a Dharma offering of understand, accept, recite, practice, then the merit that is accumulated is far greater than the person who make material offerings that is stated previously. Why? Enlightenment of all the Buddhas is born from this, born from the Dharma. The characteristic of Bodhi is immeasurable, is without characteristic, and unfathomable. And based on this, the blessings are also immeasurable and unfathomable. It is because the object is unfathomable, therefore the merit is unfathomable. According to the Tibetan and other editions, it says that the reason of unfathomability is the Buddhas are born from the Dharma offering, not from the material offering. According to Master Kuei-ji, he said that the material of wealth belongs to the worldly realm, and the Dharma offering is super mundane offering, therefore it is the most superior. So from the Dharma offering, the Buddhas are born. Therefore, by making the Dharma offering, the merit comes from it, generated from it, is immeasurable. The Dharma generates the greatest benefit to self and others. According to Acts of the Buddha, it says that the many sutras of great meaning, the words of a holy teacher, to propagate these classics of the Buddha is the most beneficial to the world. So the classics, the sutras, and the shastras, those are of the most beneficial to the world, to the sentient beings. So the sutras and shastras, in fact, brings great benefit to everyone. You cannot then ask the Buddha, or you cannot ask the Buddha or a Lama to stay at a place to help you. They can give you blessings like this by then patting on your head with the sutra textbook. But such kind of blessings cannot abide in your mind for a long period of time. But the teaching, the education, in fact, could stay in this world as well as in your mind for a long period of time and engrave in your heart. The power that comes from the sutra and shastras could definitely help you at all times, and the power of such, the strength of such is immeasurable. Therefore, it is said that the Buddha Therefore, it is said that in the Sutra of Buddha practicing filial piety with expedience, it says that Buddha rely on the Dharma as their teacher. Buddhas are born from the Dharma. The Dharma is the mother of all Buddhas. And then the Buddha told Indra, saying that at a time immeasurable Asamkhya's of kalpas in the past, there was a Buddha named Medicine King. He's a Tathagata, great arhat, fully enlightened one endowed with wisdom and conduct, well gone one, knower of the world, supreme master of the discipline, teacher of gods and humans, Buddha, the world-honored one. So those are the 10 titles of the Medicine King Buddha. His world was called Great Ornamentation, and his kalpas was called Ornamentation. That Buddha's lifespan was 20 small kalpas. He has a Shravaka Sangha of 36 kotis, nayutas of members, and a Bodhisattva Sangha of 12 kotis, which is about 1.2 billion in current number. That's a description. Heavenly Emperor Indra, at the time there was a wheel-turning sage king named Jewel Canopy. He was endowed with 7 treasures of the Chakravartin and ruled the fourfold world. The king had 1,000 sons who were handsome, courageous, and able to subjugate their enemies. At that time, Jewel Canopy, this Chakravartin or universal monarch, and his subordinates made offering to the Medicine King Tathagata, providing all that he needs for a full 5 kalpas. The Tibetan version, it says that a full 5 kalpas, and after 5 kalpas, he told his 1,000 sons, he said that you should also make offering to the Buddha with a profound mind like me. Then the 1,000 sons, accepting their father's order, maybe at that time the Jewel Canopy universal monarch was already getting old, so he was giving this teaching to the son, and he said that then the 1,000 sons accepting their father's order. Well, unlike nowadays, the children do not listen to their parents. Some children would follow a different religion. Some children would do exactly the different from what the parents told them, and would sometimes even slander the Buddha when knowing their parents are Buddhists. Anyhow, at that time, then accepting their father's order, the sons made offering to the Medicine King Tathagata. And they provided his needs for another 5 full kalpas. Sometimes when we think about 1,000 sons, maybe you feel that is very difficult to imagine. How could you have 1,000 sons? But in fact, Zhou Emperor had 100 sons. And last year when I went to Eswatini, Swaziland, and the previous king to this king, he had about 100 sons and over. In fact, this current king of Eswatini, he has 16 wives and 30-something children, and his father has about 90 to 100 children, and he had about 100 wives. In the introduction of the current king says that this current king was the 67th son of the previous king. And the king has about over 1,000 sons and grandsons. Eswatini, in fact, is quite an interesting country. Every year they have a reed dance festival where the king would pick his wife, his new wife or concubine, and on that day, the young girls would then carry reeds to join this dance, and all the most beautiful girls would gather together, and the king would pick another wife for the year from such a festival. So you can look at the photos.
当时那个，但是他们这个在实际上来讲，好像这个对过往的这些行为的话，那就是
Some people, they do not really like the king's behavior of picking more wives and then burdening his people with more texts to build new palaces for his new concubines. I think on one hand, it is. I think the country was really beautiful, though. I went to Eswatini as well as Malawi. I really feel that they are quite different. They have a quite different system of knowledge in Africa. On the land of Africa, from our perspective, we feel that this is unimaginable, but from their culture and from their costume, then they feel this is quite normal. This is normal than normal. And throughout the river of history, there are different kinds of phenomena that cannot be understood by our limited conceptual mind, just like this universal monarch who lives for kalpas, that is already unimaginable for our limited understanding of time. So we can understand that he could have rather very different lifestyle than how we do. Therefore, do not use your own mind to do not use your own thinking pattern to judge others. Do not then require others to have to be in accordance with your opinion, with your thoughts. Therefore, I think we all need to have different spaces and different kind of understanding and opinions. But I feel nowadays people are quite narrow-minded, that if you like sweets, other people has to like sweets as well, otherwise it's wrong. You have to give other people space to have their likings and their ways of living. Our understanding of this world, our understanding of different groups of people. In fact, because people are so different, we feel that we live our life like this, we've lived our life like this, and we are the only correct ones, and the other ones are all wrong. You cannot point your fingers like that. Because in our relative world, it is already not real. Do not create more unnecessary conflicts. We need to be more broad-minded. So out of all of these sons of this universal monarch, one of these sons is named Moon Canopy. And he sat alone, thinking that might there be some offering that would exceed even this. Upon contemplating this, through the Buddha's numinous power, through the blessings of the Buddha, there's a voice coming from the sky, and a celestial being's voice came through and was resonating in the space. And the voice stated, "Good man, the offering of the Dharma surpasses all other offerings." According According to the Mahaprajna Paramita Sutra, it says that those aspiring to make offering to the Buddha are supposed to train in 3 practices. First, to generate bodhicitta. Second, to try your best to uphold the Dharma. And third, to practice according to the Dharma. Therefore, Indra, or Heavenly King, you should know that anyone trained in these 3 practices is truly making offering to the Buddha. So these are the 3 practices. And then at that time, the god said, you should go and ask Medicine King Tathagata. He will give you an extensive explanation of the offering of the Dharma. And tomorrow we'll study the rest.
Number Joya, Maam Karapa Kandap Shelparavja, Talpatam Chelatayam Korwana, Sunama Yeshi, Tana, Mazalavni, Taptan Shera, Batam Zanam Tarata, Yundan Ganji, Mazalam Zotur, Dalchitana, Daniela Janamade, Jandarisam, G, Makab, Sardinam, Sardete, Winam, Shipala, Shanchip, Shelpam, Jam Tavaravja. Teteramali Tamjara Shosaya, Jazzaman Chula, Dirsaman Sanyanaki, Sardi Jamsu, Janam Jamsu, Karapa Jamsu, Chucharaptamji, Sonchi and Laga Jamsu, Dakaleji, Jalava, Kanaya, Laganam Daba, Doak and James and Batch of Janaya, Sardi, Sonla, Takadamji, Pervia. Tisam Shapa, Jaravatam, Chadatam, Kurulon, Sarnamaram, Kurvai, Tetaka, Soyam, Mabzalala, Bloy, Top Jim, Dakajaraptamji. Jibberaya, Kachi, Chikim, Dakjam, Jibberja, Kayam, Karpati, Saman Saliteta, Kachin, Chachi, Jina, Jibbershit, Tisaman Shabba, Maya, Sangekan, Deta, Kachi, Chilam, the gift, Tata, Deta, Kanam, Shoyala, Jamara, Kerpanam, Terato, Jimji, Kayan, Tisaman, Taka, Jam Kolapa, Deta, the Jitan, the Mumberajab, Deta. Janama Kolamji Kayam Epson Jitin Durmanam Sanchiveram Beram Sanjam Kordom Kor Yanganandi Paraptab Tarton Gombo Kanji Ronda Damsho Kandam Yervim them Chuluton Namada Kanego Takaput of Dagada Kanda Yundan of Shuraput on Namada Kanda Chapab Shambatakato Kan name gave him Sunamat of Dagatam, Chapami, Parajarpa, Yashitov, Sherabat Tam Tamsament of Dagaki, Shanchabaton Namayan Dagaja Parashed, Ligi Donamayosa, Tapshilejan, Yumoton Namakandem, Jumbarashed, that jet on Namato Miller Abshilejan, Zambu, Shurapaton of Zoparabja, Janam Jamzu, number at Tapshilejan, Simjana Jamzu, Tagana, number, Shunama Jamzu, Raptam, Tom Shilejan. Yeshi jam to rap the top of shit. Shurpa jam to number of shit. Sardi jam to rap them, chip shit. Karapa jam to the mature japper. Kayan, Tisam of Sherpa, Jaravaya, Shanchip Shurpa, more lamb shitanam. Zambo should be Shanchip Sardi, taken up the game, my leaves over. Jarva can get it, Tawapa, Kangaman, Kantab, Zamjipsia, keep at the Tam Somper of Japper, Gawan, that Dagatam Chadaraptavno. Litanga Yirjanam, Dagajam, Shurbanam, Dagajanam, Mayon Daba, Moab Zambum, keep am Chemdawa, Tamer, Dagajan, de Dam Somper show. Can name game of Zambu, Jelpub, Sheram, Jamwalajina, Molam, Jeparaj, Mawam Karpak and the Majo, Tape, Shama, Madib, Zoparaj, Shurpatanam, Sayula, Makeraji, Yundanam, Johns of Zombie Parasho, Shapats and Milapalan in nature, Tetagam Charpatam Jalam Salavaraj, Namkim Tartu Kirpacha, Zambar, Simchanama, Lim Tayan, Division and Day. Chatamale Tam Yumon Tajaraba, Daga Molaman Tayan Tezamo. Shokji Janam Taiba, Rinchin and Gently, Yelavanam Lapal, Tatama Yev Devam Choganamaja, Jangav, the Nyarakarparam Paravabi, Kangi Mova Jelpo and the two names, Shanchaban Choka, Jisura Mosha, Lanchik Zamiam Talapa, Terpana, so Namatambam Chotam Damjero. Kangi Zamshala Molam and the Tapi, Tinangan Son Tam to the Pavaram dear, then a Tropong and Barapavayan, now I'm tired, they are Demirum. They Taganya the Param, Yella Devaram so, Metsim, the Tagala Para. Kandab Zambo, they are Chendaver, they Tagaram Purmatokotivs, Samiling Apo, Taka, the Panama, Kanga, she one gives she pata, Dave Zambo, Shurpam, the Judana, near the money also Shavaram. Is she done as the Tom Sanamada, Ritan Cat, or Nam Tam Dambaram, the Tamar Tamambu, they might have Jitin, Sambo, and Nam should Paramir. Shanchipisha one tongue the Temirum do, Sony Simpson and Pam Sheriff them there stay. Shanchipis are Jim Corlor at the Kor, the Namade Dam Chipa Tamchadaptan. Kayam Zambu Shilpa, Molam and the Chawatan, Tuntamelonaya. They number member Sandim Ken, Shanchaman Chola, Sumyam Abshidaji, Jamkola, Chitterim Kimbatan, Kandab Zambu, they are division and they. Tanji jisum daglo bshir gewan da tagatam chadar tavno tisum shagp jarva tam chadaji ngo akang lam chagta ngapate dak gewa sawan dakana jam zambo chobshir rabta ngorabji dagnam chivim tim shir jirpana japa tam chadagnam shasate Mansamana one time tim tone, Deva Janje Jantar Raptamru, Tirsoni Mulaman that Tagajam, Tanchalaman Lim Guntam Giravarasho, Tetagamalim Daki on Subgam, Jitin in Chet the Chimson Pembraj. Jalava Jim Kurabza Gava Tir Pamotam Bakantam Zilichi, now I'm Taib Jermim Monsamanda, Longtan Bayam Daki Tertusho. Ternam Daki Lontanarab to the name to the Pamon Bonchi Wan Jay, Loye to Chief Shocha Namsaya, Simpson, Namla Pamba Mamboja, Zambu Shupu Mulaman Tombaya, Giwa Jones of the Cape of Sarapa, Tenam Drova Mulama Giwa Namakachi, Chiki, Tanjalam Jerusalem, Kayam Zambu Shupam, Demobin, Sonamantai, Tamba Cantuti. Dengan cewek sama nama, walau mid penir batu perso. Mula menjadi pun tetapkan cekasum, thay dua kena pamsi dejang, kentap zambu jambu jom terbete. Nansoni nama mali, stover. Sandir kasamam nib, shandabatam, chunyalamam gerabdim bab shandabatam. Kim Danam Abshalam Dambab Shandabaji, Chatara Moa Molam and Reparation. Talayata Pantan Jay, Awan Budana Zohai, Pamiti, Durjid and Jimji, Repanam Revalera Valamba, Caramanto, Ripa, what chief, Shim Jimmy, the Panzo, Javla, Soravandim, Regula Gombus and the Benyon Laji, three in the Chitum, Depression, Dialo, Sorta, Tondolmir. Langamillet, and never came the Pambam Drova, Sassama Java, Jamsum Chani, Jigela, Shinchin and Bopa, she person, Mamila Jamsara, Nova, Yam Tagam Dorotapa, Yashi, now I'm chocked of jumps of Shalham, Deeper Yam Gerrit, Don Kim, Gibson and Mala, Saravan, Katsam and Gerridurji, she served and Chanim, Zarbim, Shokjim, Gorlo, Chavinim, Jam, Tando Pandi, Ronto, Chonjers, Jamni, Jamsunim team to the Medalazam, Bemburim, Dotton and Drapper, Games and Barajam, Lapa, Samdan, Garamim, Zambayim, Deeper, Soji, Ninder, Yonka, Tata, Shelajiv, Shavi, Talanti, War, Tatanam, Shantara, Deeper,
这样啊，今天有几件事情说一下，就是可能会如果